This video covers rewriting linear equations into standard form. Standard form, it looks like this: ax plus by equals c, and there are three rules we need to keep in mind. A, b, and c, so a, b, and c, all need to be integers. That means they need to be whole numbers. A, which is the number touching our x, has to be a positive number. And then when it says x and y are on the same side, it just means it looks like this. So you want it to look like ax plus by equals c. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by making all of my numbers integers. And to do that, I want to cancel out all my fractions. I'm going to multiply everything in this equation by 10. And the reason I'm doing that is because 5 is a factor of 10. So if I multiply it by the larger number, the 10, it will actually cancel out my divided by 5 in that first fraction there. On the left side, I'm going to have 10y. Then I'm going to do 10 times negative 1/5 x. 10 times negative 1/5 will give me negative 2x. Then 10 times 7/10 will give me a positive 7 because the 10 and the 10 cancel. So my a, b, and c are all integers. Next, I have to make sure that my a is a positive number. So I am actually going to bring my a to the other side of the equation by adding 2x to both sides. And that will magically make that a positive number. So we have 2x plus 10y equals 7. And just to be clear, I put it in that order because I want it to look like ax plus by equals c. So my number and my x go in front of my number and my y, which goes in front of my equal to sign, and my c. So let me double check, make sure this is correct. My a, b, and c are all integers. Yes, none of those are fractions or decimals. My a, which is the number touching my x, is a positive number. Yes. And then my x and y are on the same side. That is standard form. Let's do a few more. For this one, my x and y are actually already on the same side. I just need to kind of reorder them. So I'm going to start by making everything an integer, but I want to note something here. Do we see how this is already on the correct side of the equal to sign? We don't want it to be negative over here. We want it to be a positive number touching my x. So instead of just multiplying by 4, I'm actually going to multiply everything by negative 4. And that will cancel out the negative and the fraction that I have. Here I'll get negative 8y. The negative 4 cancels with the negative and the 4. So I'm left with just a positive x. And then this would be negative 8. This isn't quite in the right order. I want it to say ax plus by equals c. Everything is already here on the left side of the equation I need. I just need to make sure it's in the right order. So I'm not subtracting anything. I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything on the other side of the equal to sign. I'm just rearranging what's already there. So this is going to remain a positive x, and I'm going to subtract 8y, and it's still going to be a negative 8. So my a, b, and c are integers. I know you can't see it, but the a right here is 1. It's invisible, and that is indeed a positive number. And my x and y are on the same side. Next up, this one's almost finished, and we can actually do this all in one step. I'm hoping you might be able to see it. I'm going to multiply everything by a negative 8. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need my a to be positive and I need it to not be a fraction. So if I multiply by negative 8, it gets rid of the negative and the fraction, both of which I need to get rid of for this to be in proper standard form. The negative 8 and the divided by 8 will cancel. I'll be left with 3x. And then I'm just going to show you how to do this multiplication. I know it looks intimidating, but it's not too hard. You're doing negative 3/4. So that's this right here. You're multiplying it by the negative 8, right? So I'm going to say times negative 8. And negative 8, we know whole numbers, they're just over a 1, but we can't see it. So I just put my negative 8 over 1. Negative 3 times negative 8 gives you positive 24. And then 4 times 1 gives you positive 4. 24 divided by 4 is, of course, 6. So actually, all of this big thing right here, it's just 6y. So plus 6y, pretty simple. And then negative 3 times negative 8 is going to give me positive 24. So let me check. A, b, and c are integers. Yes, a is a positive number. Yes, it's positive 3. And x and y are on the same side. Absolutely. So this is going to be my standard form. Next one here, I'm going to multiply everything by a positive 8 to get rid of my fractions. I'll have 8y equals, let's see, we got 8 times 1/4, which will actually give us 2x, because that would be 8 over 4, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. And then our multiplication and division would cancel, so we'd be left with just a 1. So everything's an integer. I need my x on the correct side, so I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. I'll get negative 2x plus 8y equals 1. And I'm so close. My a is not a positive number. So I have the integers, I have them on the same side, but my a is a negative number. So to get that negative to go away, you could divide everything by -1, or like me, you could multiply everything by -1. So this would become 2x, this would be minus 8y, and this would be a -1. And that checks off everything for our standard form. A couple more, let's keep going. Here's another example. We are just going to go ahead and multiply by 4. Some of you may be able to do all this in one step, but I'm still going to break it down into 2 steps where I make everything an integer, then I arrange it in the proper order. But if you can do it in one step, go for it. I'm going to multiply everything by 4 so I can cancel out my fraction. I'll have 4y plus just a single x equals 32. Now it's not quite in the right order. I need my x to come before my y, so I just am going to rearrange it to x plus 4y equals 32. Just as a reminder, we don't have to change the signs because everything's already on the correct side. So we have integers, a is positive, and x and y are on the same side. All right, last one. Now, you may be thinking, first off, let me just go ahead and multiply by -8. But I would encourage you to think for a second. We are going to have to get rid of the fractions, and then we're actually going to have to move the x to the other side of the equal to sign. And when we move it to the other side, it's going to change signs from negative to positive. So I actually want to keep it negative where it is, because when I move it, it's going to change. So I want it when it gets moved to be positive. So I'm leaving it negative now, so when I move it, it will be positive. I am just going to multiply everything by 8 to get rid of all my fractions. Here I'll get 8y equals the 8 and the 8 cancel, so I have negative 2x. And then I did this earlier, but they were negative, so I'll just do it one more time as positive numbers. This will be positive 24 over 4, which is 6. And I just did this right here. 8 times positive 3/4 is positive 6. And this is what I'm talking about. I have to move my 2x to the other side, and I want it to be positive when I move it. So since I didn't multiply by -8, I don't actually have to do any more work. That's it. So a, b, and c are integers, check. A is a positive number, yes, and x and y are on the same side.